which leads me into the next guy here. Look and see what we have here, which we might have here. Aiden Hutchinson, DJ Reader, Aleem McNeil when he comes back, hopefully not after Thanksgiving. Hopefully it's sooner than that. And Trey Hendrickson, who everybody wanted in the beginning. I was one of them. He was third on my list. I had Myles Garrett, and I had, I forget who the other player I had in front of him. He was the third choice. But then at $40 million is what he's looking for, and you have Hutchinson coming up off his rookie contract, is going to be likely the highest paid player at the position, is probably $45 million. Are you going to be the Cincinnati Bengals and tie up 45? They do it offensively. You're going to be the Lions to do it at Hutchinson at 45, 50 million on one side and Trey Hendrickson at 40 million on the other side. No, you're not going to do that. You couldn't do that weeks ago. I still don't think they're going to do it now, but that has soured so much for Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati, and they are so financially strapped because of what they've done offensively. Let me just pull that back up here again. Let's see where the Bengals are. 27 million in cap space, 6.6 million dead cap money, not bad. But I think that their depth is severely affected. If you compare their roster to the Lions roster, the Lions can endure injuries, they can endure all sorts of different things, and I don't think the Bengals can. So, what would happen if the Lions were to acquire Trey Hendrickson? I have best defensive line in the NFL there on the graphic. And I believe that. I don't know how you stop that. A healthy front four like that. I don't know how you stop that. And you have depth throughout, like 2 deep and even 3 deep. Some would argue that Davenport shouldn't be your starting end, and Trey Hendrickson is an upgrade. I agree. Josh Pascal, somebody say he shouldn't be a start. These are your number one guys across the board. If you get Trey Hendrickson, this is your 4. Healthy. When McNeil gets healthy, this is your 4. Dominant. The Lions are already Super Bowl contenders without him. And there's people who think, and I don't even want to get back into it again. All right, I'm going to get back into it again. The Lions have a 2-year window. Oh my God, what are we going to do? It's not a window. When you're a great team, it's not a window. When you have great evaluators and great scouts and great talent, and you have a great organization, a great franchise that does things the right way, does not build through free agency, but rather builds through the draft, and you keep on reloading, not rebuilding or rebooting. You just keep reloading, and you are prepared for things like Ragnow, for things like Jameson Williams in 2 years. If you decide to move Laporta in 2 years and you don't want to re-up him at new money, and you rather allocate that to Jameson Williams as an example, or vice versa, you're already addressing the potential loss of Jameson Williams with the Tesla pick, that they actually believe that this guy, and I happen to agree, and I shared it before, I'm not going to get into it again, but you're already actively building the depth, and then it's plug and play to the next guy. And then when these guys get into 5 or 6 years and you don't want to keep them, you move on, but you have the ability to draft and reload, and it's just next man up. It's next man up in terms of when you draft, to fill out your team, to build depth in your team. It's all relative. It doesn't go away. It just continues. So, I have a friend that said, Todd Szymanski. Todd said, I want a 15-year dynasty, or 10 to 15-year dynasty might have been what he said. And I think that's what you're looking at here. Barring something crazy happening, and Dan Campbell decided he no longer wanted to be here, or Brad Holmes decided he wanted to go someplace else. I don't see that. But hey, anything's possible. But if you keep this structure, this leader, like a John Harbaugh, been there forever, like a Mike Tomlin, been there forever. But this is a different group than the Steeler group, or the Ravens. See, so they did it through Ozzie Newsome, and then they did it through his name, Eric, the new GM over there, or newer DeCosta, I think it is. It's just the next was the next man up. It was you trained and you learned under Ozzie Newsome, and then you moved on. John Harbaugh, when it's time, he'll have his heir apparent. Pete Carroll with the Raiders, who came in as a stopgap measure, 74 years old. He's not going to coach, obviously, till he's 80. Probably they don't want him till he's 80, although dude probably chewing a gum, running up and down the sidelines at 82. I don't know what he eats every day, but is amazing the energy that Pete Carroll has. But he's going to groom his replacement. You're going to groom Goff's replacement. There is no window, guys. So you want to look at a potential window where you can add right now and make yourself go from a Super Bowl contender to a Super Bowl favorite. Something like this could make a lot of sense. I would have to see that the actual, guaranteed money, signing bonus, how that all prorates out over the years. If they give him a 3-year deal, a 4-year deal, he's 30 now, I think, 30, 31. You're not looking to sign big money when he's 35, so maybe it's a shorter deal. I think he wanted 4 and the Bengals were offering 3, so he wants that security. But if you're looking at window to make a run, to make yourself a favorite of the Super Bowl versus a contender of the Super Bowl, that's a different argument. But a window in terms of, hey, we're really good and we have to win a Super Bowl now, otherwise it could be 20 years. No, I don't think that that's this organization.